This is what happened the first week of my Road to Sub 10 challenge. But just before that, if you haven't seen the first video, go watch it. I mean, it's not the best video of all time, but as you get through it, it gets better. In that video, I said that over the next 6 weeks, I'm gonna go from averaging low 11 to averaging sub 10. And that this week, I'm focusing on PLO. Day 1. Now, the first day, I tested my PLO times on JPM's trainer. I did 400 solves and my session mean was 2.35 seconds. Now, when I redo this test at the end of the week, I want the average to be under 2 seconds. So that means that I need to improve by 0.35 seconds, which in a week, that's doable. Day 2. Okay, now, I should have probably explained this in the first video, but anyway, your PLL time is separated into 2 parts. The first one is how much time it takes you to recognize the case, and the second one is your TPS, aka your turns per second. Now, day 2 I focused on the edges only PLLs, however, in the first hour practice, I only worked on the TPS side of each case. So basically, I spammed each of the edges only cases on the speed stack timer. In the next 2 hours of practice, I worked on both the recognition time and the TPS by drilling the edges only cases on JPM's trainer. But I'm not gonna bore you with that. Let's go to the final hour of practice, which is solving. So day 2 is when I did my first average 100 and it went pretty well. In fact, I got 23 sub 10 singles, which is absolutely crazy for me. I even got a sub 10 average of 5, which is really rare for me. Yes! Now, this was all because I was turning really fast. But you see, turning really fast is a double-edged sword. Sometimes it goes amazingly well, while other times it goes horribly bad. And so because of that, I was very inconsistent. I mean, look at that time trend, it's absolutely all over the place. And I wasn't even counting the +2s. Wait, what did I just say? +2? Is that foreign language? Anyway, and the next day, I kind of fixed that consistency issue and even got a 7.34 PB single, which is absolutely amazing. But on day 4, that's when I really fixed that consistency issue. I was consistently shit. I mean, I actually started off the session amazingly, and after about 40 solves, I was on my way to getting my best average of 100. But then it went downhill real quick. I was getting bad solves after bad solves, and you're not gonna believe this. I took my jacket off. Yeah. That's when you know it's serious. But it did not help. And I was still getting crap solves. So I did what any self-respected person would do. I started faking solves. Now obviously that wasn't a solution, but I couldn't find one, so the solves kept being trash. And this last solve says it all. Now, if I had to guess why this happened, it was probably the fact that I did this at 11 PM. So I was trying to solve while my brain was trying to sleep. So obviously it's not gonna go well. Now on day 5, I learned my lesson and so the session was really good. I mean, my very first average of 5 was under 10 seconds. And the last average of 5 was also under 10 seconds. But it didn't go perfectly. Now, on day 6, I used the speed stack timer because that's what we use in queuing competitions. But you see, using that timer is very different to using the spacebar on your computer. Now, when I say different, I mean it's a lot slower. And so after about 40 solves, my session average was really bad. During the next 50 solves, I kinda saved the average. Then, with 5 solves remaining, my average was at 11.51 seconds. So at this point, I was like, I'm not choking in front of 3 viewers, bro. Nah. That's not happening. So I was determined to get that average under 11.5 seconds. I was so determined that I choked in the very next solve. And so the average was at 11.52 seconds. But then I turned on max spark speed. So going into the last solve, the average was at 11.5 seconds. And it all came down to this. Yes! Never in doubt. Now, on day 7, I tested my PLL times again, and to cut it short, I reached my goal. Just. So was it worth spending 30 hours on my PLLs? Well, let's just say, bye!